TV when you got the local church, right? Man, I love what I get to do. I am the global student pastor here at Fellowship Church. My name is Landon Pickering, and I'm so excited that you guys came this weekend to check out the student takeover. And right now, if you're here for the first time, you may not know this, but Fellowship Church is one church in many locations. And right now, we have got church going on in Dallas, Fort Worth. Let's make some noise for everybody. Dallas, Fort Worth, Plano, Park Cities, Keller, Southlake, right here in Grapevine. We've got it going on. We've got South Miami, Midtown Miami, Alasso Ranch, London, England, and we've got fellowshiplive.com joining us right now. And right now, this weekend, across all of those locations, we have students that are taking over the weekend. We have students greeting, we have students parking, we have students ushering, we have students on the stage. Obviously, we've got students everywhere. But guess what? That happens every weekend here at Fellowship Church. We just wanted to highlight it for you this weekend because we're so excited about what God is doing in and through the student movement here at Fellowship Church. The student movement here is called The Mix. It meets every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. But the thing about The Mix is this: it's not a place where students just come and hang out and hear good music and have fun on Wednesday nights. No, it is a place where their lives are being changed and transformed, and they're being challenged in their relationship with Christ. They're being challenged to know who Jesus is and to live out the life and the plan and purpose that God has for them. And there's three things about the mix that we stand by, and the reason the mix exists. And one of those reasons is simple. It is to see students come to know Jesus. We believe that a relationship with Jesus is the greatest thing any person can ever encounter. That's the number one thing as to why the mix exists. Number two, we want to see those students begin to take their next steps in that relationship, and that starts with baptism. We believe that once a person comes to know Christ, their next step is to take that decision public, to tell the world about it through baptism. And so we believe that students need to know Jesus, they need to get baptized, and last, they need to get involved with what is going on in the local church. Crazy statistic, 80% of students that don't get involved with what goes on in the weekend of their church and just attend their youth group end up leaving the church when they go off to college. 80% of them. And so our goal here at Fellowship Church is to connect students, yes, to what we're doing on Wednesday night because it's awesome, it's fun, but get them plugged into what is happening here every single weekend. And I can tell you there is no better church for students to get involved with than right here at Fellowship Church. And so for those of you that are involved, thank you so much. And for those parents out there, man, make sure that your students are a part of what is going on at the mix because God is changing students' lives. Well, that's enough about me. That's all I'm going to say up here because we've got something very special for you guys today. We are going to actually hear from three of our students who are very actively involved in the mix. And let me tell you what, the messages that you are going to hear today are going to impact you in a tremendous way. So what I want you to do is I want you to tune in. I want you to take notes because these students have something to talk to you about today. So our first student up is my man, Decker Branch. Y'all give it up for Decker Branch.
Welcome everyone to Fellowship Church on this beautiful day in early May. My name is Decker Branch. I have been going to Fellowship for 16 years and I'm from Flower Mound, Texas. So at just 6 months old, my parents decided that it was time for me to start coming to church. I had no idea what was going on. I was just an infant. They would bring me in, take me to the nursery, and I would just be taken care of. I had no idea what was going on. But as I got older, I went through the preschool ministry and then into FC Kids, where when I was 7 years old, I gave my life to Christ. And then just a few years later, I decided to take that decision to give my life to Christ and go public and get baptized. Now, all of these things were very important parts of my life, but I was never truly plugged into the church. I came to church, I experienced church, but I never got involved. But that thirst was quenched when I decided to serve at the Mix. So actually, my little brother invited me to come to the mix. I'd been going to fellowship for a long time, but I had just started working at the time. I was very busy, but I had a free week, and on the Wednesday night, my little brother invited me, and usually, you know, older brother, I don't want to listen to my little brother, but I decided it was the right thing that night. And I got the opportunity to MC, which is like when you guys were walking in, Drew was up here just getting everybody riled up, excited, clapping, just getting ready for the service. Serving at the mix actually helped me realize that it wasn't just about me anymore. It was about everybody else that were in our seats. Now, on a large scale, there are many students that come to the mix that experience the mix, but I wanted to make a personal connection to one of my friends from school that had never been to Fellowship Church before. And I invited him. I told him that if he was to come, he would definitely not regret it. It is the best student movement on the planet, no doubt. And so we pulled in. This is back when we didn't even have the mix center yet. We were in the chapel, and it turned out that Senior Pastor Ed Young was speaking. So it was a great way for my friend to see not only our youth group, but even our head pastor speak. Now, I was a big part of getting him into church, but it wasn't only me. It was everybody that night, whether it be the band, whether it be the police officers, whether it be the parking crew. Everybody had a huge part in getting him the best experience at Fellowship. Now, everybody here, in fact, can serve at the church. I didn't know if you guys are maybe nervous about it. If you just come talk to any of our leaders, you can definitely get plugged in and have the opportunity to serve. And in 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10, the Bible says that as each has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. Now, as Ed Young famously says, that if you're not serving, you are swerving. And I recommend that, me personally, when I'm on the highway, I don't want to be driving next to somebody who's swerving, because that is just trouble. So definitely, I would recommend to get serving, because when you serve, it not only impacts everybody else's lives, but it will make a tremendous difference in yours. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thanks, man. There's no doubt, man, when you step outside of yourself and you begin serving, it doesn't just have an impact on the people's lives that you're serving. It has a tremendous impact on your own life as well. There's something about getting outside of yourself something supernatural happens, especially when you're getting outside of yourself and what God is doing in the local church. And just to brag on Decker a little bit more, that friend that he invited to church and had this great experience because of what he encountered, all the way from the parking lot through the experience, that guy has now been to church every week for almost 2 months now. And so it's incredible to see what God has done in Decker and through Decker, just by him stepping out and saying, hey, you know what, I'm busy, I play sports, I work, but I'm going to make the church a priority, and I'm going to start serving as well. So thanks, Decker. Incredible message there. Well, our next